Hey guys, it's Austin Doctor, and the final episode of Darling the Franxx. And I'm going to be honest, this ending was such a big mix of happiness and everything else. So, let me begin off with what happened. In the beginning, we see Zero Two and Hiro literally going through the wormhole or warp gate, and the amount of time skip is crazy. I think the last one I remember was 800 and something days, and it plays a really crucial part. So let's begin off with it. I'm going to be completely honest. The battle, they weren't as good as it used to be, and I love this anime. So before we really get into the review and you hear a little of me of complaining, there is a positive and a negative. I'm going to be completely honest. The positive really doesn't make the big issue with the writing good, and I'm going to tell you straight out, I love Darling the Franxx. I really do. To the point that I don't want to see this stuff. And it's just, boy, that's all I can say. But going back to the review, so we see that the kids literally go back to where they used to be mistletoeing with their house, and they take the dirt and get ready to plant it. And they have a bunch of other parasites, and we have a cut to actual, like, all the adults talking, and we finally see a heartbeat monitor, and I'm like, okay, you know, at least you did it. I gotta give you credit there. And it was just a bit too late, in my opinion, but I'll save the complaining towards the end because people just want the review, I understand. And I'm gonna be completely honest, yes, we had the sweet talk of Zero Two and Hiro about their relationship and everything, how let's just get to the next part. We see Kokoro actually have her baby, and I'm not gonna lie, I cried happy tears. I'm like, you had your kid finally, thank God. And going a little previous to the scene before this, even before the Nana and all them, the kids talking to each other, and you know, we see Futoshi and, you know, Zerome give Kokoro like water. It's because she's pregnant and they were feeling good, and I'm very happy they didn't go the route I thought they were gonna go. But honestly, the beginning was good. It was just the ending, I don't know what they were thinking, but continue on. So we see that they actually wake the people up from the tubes, even though it's named the Void. And the vagueness of that was very bad, and I know people are like, I told you Naomi was alive. Yes, she's alive, and her sole purpose was just to be Ikuno's girlfriend, and that made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, good, just no build up. That's the way I love it. And I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I told you she's alive. You were wrong. And let me just say this. Good job. You made a paradox. You made a plot hole. I don't even understand how she's even alive at this point, but you know, back to the review. Let's say that to the end, but we see that Zero Two is kind of on her own, and Hiro kind of just fell into this deep conscience, and he's kind of losing himself. And we actually see another time skip of Kokoro's kid saying "darling" to Zero Two's stone body, and they all start to realize that Zero Two is actually calling out for Hiro, and this actually made me tear up because I'm like, Squad 13 has each other's backs no matter what, and it was really beautiful. Honestly, they looked like a family, and I couldn't be happy enough. But going further on with everything, we see Hiro kind of come back to it, and Zero Two is badly damaged. That's, if you remember in the preview, you saw that big cut in her, and basically Hiro and Zero Two finally work together completely, and they go after Vermin. I'm going to say something towards the end because I want you guys to get through the review, but we see them full force go and charge with the bomb into the hive mind, or so we think. And they are trying to set it off, but it's too late. Zero Two loses an arm, and Hiro, basically we see Stretzalea come out of nowhere and for some reason go into the bomb, and basically they kill themselves. just to wipe out Verm. And it's going to get even weirder. We see how the Earth is rebuilt after, and how Ikuno is like the scientist that's researching stuff. And we see all the squad people, or Squad 13 parasites, just kind of grow up. And I'm not going to lie, it was really beautiful. Honestly, it was very interesting to see everything. And we see at the end, too, that 02's stone body just shatters. And there's a tree there that's planted, which is a sakura tree. And it was a beautiful thing because it symbolizes their internal love for each other, 02 and Hiro. And we see after they died that 02 and Hiro's soul kind of travel through space to get back. And going to the next part, we see actually, sadly, Ikuno is at her end of her life, and Naomi's there kind of comforting her. And they're during the other previous scenes, we see Naomi and Ikuno kind of working together closely, and I hate to assume, but it really looked like they were dating. And obviously Goro a while came back from his adventure again, because he keeps going on adventures to find stuff for the people. And we see at that bed scene with Ikuno, Naomi, and Ichigo that Ichigo's pregnant, and that leak was right. And I was like, thank you. And the one thing I'm still confused, because we see Nana and Hachi kind of just overlook everything, and these kids run to them. And I'm going to assume that someone's kids are theirs, but as I said, they didn't give us much at the end, and it annoyed me. But overall, the cutback, basically being on Earth, was the best part of this episode. The fight was interesting but lackluster compared to the previous fights. But the big thing I want to talk about is that ending with little 02 and Hiro as kids. I get what they were going for with the whole holiday actually being there, about the two people that were separating and came back. I forgot the name of the holiday, but it bothered me a bit, because I'm like, yes, it's a good, hey, that was pretty good idea, but it's just, I get when they were talking about how we'll meet again someday, and I can't say this was a sad ending, nor a happy ending, or a bittersweet ending. It was just a very open ending, and I'm very disappointed with the whole, we'll find each other again kind of thing. I thought it was sweet, I really did, don't get me wrong, it's just, I was wishing for something a little more cool, I don't know what my expectation was. It wasn't very high, but what can I do? But overall, as I said, there was a lot of issues, especially with going to the Naomi thing, and she served her purpose being dead by making Hiro to who he is. And honestly, her being alive, I guess, without Hiro and 02 is a kind of a cheap way of doing it, but still, her only purpose was just to be Ikuno's, girlfriend. And I don't mind that. It's kind of funny, because everyone's expecting her to be with Hiro and all this stuff. I'm just like, no, I don't see that working well, because it's just, having Naomi creates these plot holes of, why wasn't she up and going at that time? If she was truly alive, why didn't they bring her in? It seems, I know people are going to get pissed when I say this, that they just didn't care what they wrote before. They just wanted to get the series done. And I'm going to say this again, this is the ending that the series didn't really deserve. And yes, it was sweet, don't get me wrong, and it was visually beautiful. I'm not going to lie, but it seems they just threw everything together. And it kind of pissed me, it really pisses me off. And as I said, I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe something sweet, but going to the ending with everything, and I know people want my theory, in my opinion. I am very unhappy with Naomi. I know people are going to comment saying, I told you so. If you ever read a book, a very good book, or a good book, or an average book, you'd know this kind of stuff wouldn't be allowed. You'd be laughed at if you ever wrote something like that, because I was taught with the sandwich structure that you need to support your stuff when you make a story, and Naomi, as I said, was my only complaint. And I guess the big silver line is that 02 and Hiro met again at the end, and they finally, as I said, met, and they're human. They're fully human. It's just, I wanted so many answers to the questions. What was really Hiro? Because they kept saying that he's not really a normal human, nor was he a Cloxor. He was just, I'm confused still, and it's just, I wish we would get that answer in. Austin, what do you think about another season? Well, truthfully, I think we're going to get another season or an OVA, because, as I said, with Verm, this is why I didn't like Verm after realizing what they were going to go with in episode 23. They're going to be that enemy that does not die easily. And as you know, they said, we'll be back, Verm never dies. And I'm like, oh, so they're going to come back and attack again? And honestly, I was just annoyed with that. I'm like, oh, yeah, as I expected. So Hiro and 02's sacrifice literally meant no reason. It was just to take out majority of them, but the leaders are still walking around. Okay. And that's why it kind of pisses me off, this finale. And I'm happy, yet sad. I'm happy that we got something visually beautiful, but I'm just sad with the horrible writing. As I said, I love this series. I really do. It's just, this makes it not as great. It kind of makes it mediocre, and I'm going to still say I prefer this over, like, Gurren Lagann or Eve, and just, come on. I know people like the ending. As I said, I take everything with a grain of salt, and just, when you make a story, I want to enjoy every little detail, because as a person that has written before into a different level, or reading other authors and talking to authors about their work, they want you to pick up their details. They care about that. They want you to appreciate it, because if you appreciate it, they appreciate it, and it's a happy circle. And if you read anything that doesn't have that kind of stuff, it's just mediocre. And it's just not good. And I'm not saying Darling in the Franxx is mediocre, but it's just, it could have been better. And this isn't the ending it deserved, as I keep saying. But overall, very disappointed, because yes, 02 and Hiro did die, but they came back just because of a love story. And it's a cliche that I haven't seen in a while, but more or less it's an annoying one. That's my only complaint. But as I said, they honestly just really shot their foot with this 2 last episodes. And as I said, they could want another season, but just, they're not going to make much money after pulling something like this, and I feel for the director. I really do, and the writers, because they're not safe after something like that, and I hope, my wishes go out to them. I hope they make it back to the U.S. fine, and while they're in Japan they don't get attacked or anything, because really seeing that the fans are very bit crazy. I love the passion. It's just, it worries me. I don't want anyone to ever die over something like this, and it's just anime. It really is anime. I sometimes get really into it, but it's for more of the joke and the meme and to laugh about, because at the end of the day, anime is just to have fun and watch. And truthfully, if someone ever says, hey, should I watch Darling in the Franxx? Yes, and don't continue towards after episode 18, because it just, I wish they would have done a better job. And I'm happy I got a lot of my predictions right through episodes 1 through 22. 23 and 24, no one could have guessed. They couldn't have guessed that. And just, I hope if they do have a second season, it's going to be better. It might be a slice of life, but as I said, I don't expect a season 2. I kind of do, but it's one of those open-ended kind of endings. It's just, oh yeah, we could have a second season if we wanted to, but we could leave it also. That's what's going to piss a lot of people off. And Austin, do you think if they make a second season, when would it come out? I have to say 2021 probably, or 2020, or one of those years. Just, I don't see it coming back within a year, because it is an original series. Do I think the mangas are going to keep going? Yes. And I feel bad for the sales for a lot of the stuff, because this is going to piss people off. And I'm pissed off yet happy. I'm a bunch of emotions, but what can you do? Honestly, it's just, there wasn't much hope to begin with, and I mean, it kind of did make me happy, but made me mad. As I said, I loved it. I just didn't love the ending. But anyways, guys, if you did watch it, do tell me what you did think of the episode, and what was the positive and the negatives, because that's what I'm looking at. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you are new here, do hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button if you did enjoy this video. But as always, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. As I said before, this is Austin the Doctor, signing out. Peace.